the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I think you guys gotta turn your, I think you gotta turn them on. What? Turn your mics on.
Good evening. Today is August 2nd, 2018. The Environmental Conservation Board. We've an agenda we're going to follow, and the first item is number 1, which is the New York City DEP, Kirk Lake Dam off of Hill Street, to perform geotechnical borings. You can approach the podium. Please state your name and who you're representing.
My name is Tom Boland. I'm representing New York City DEP, Bureau of Water Supply.
Okay, why don't you tell us what you want to do?
We are planning to take 2 borings at the Kirk Lake Dam, located off of Hill Street. We are gathering geotechnical information to update stability analysis and hydraulic analysis in response to comments we received from the state, New York State Department of Environmental Conservation.
Is this a, we're not doing through the dam, we're doing in front of the dam?
They're located on the crest of the dam, the embankment of the dam, not the spillway.
Okay.
There's an attachment that
I see the
shows a
picture.
plan view of the
Right.
dam, and the location of the borings are marked out. Yep.
Okay, and who is the driller?
Driller is Craig Testing.
Okay, so what we've done in the past for you folks is as follows. I need to have a copy of the driller's permit, his drilling permit. He's, should be licensed by the DEC, so I'd like a copy of his drilling permit. I'd like a copy of his insurance. We need a copy of your purchase order for him to do this. And how close are you to the water on this? Because you're in the spill, you're in the
About
embankment.
about
There's
15.
there's no water near it, right?
We're about 15 feet from the lake.
Is he gonna use a skid rig or a truck rig?
I believe it's a
Track rig?
tracked rig, yeah.
Okay. So the only thing is I'm just gonna need a letter from you right now stating that there's gonna be a spill kit on site
That will have.
while they're doing the borings. And basically, if you're taking geotechnical borings, is there paperwork in here that says how they're going to abandon the well? Or you're just gonna follow the DEC protocol?
You're
You're doing borings.
We're installing sensors and filling the well. We're grouting the well.
You're gonna grout the well completely up. Okay. And you have this is regular, you're not using bentonite, you're using grout, cement.
The sensor gets embedded in a sand layer, and then it's going to be a bentonite cementatious
Can you
mix.
give us a catalog cut of and the MSDS of that material?
Sure.
Anybody else have anything?
No, I think you covered it.
Is there any chance that any of the slurry doesn't matter if the slurry goes in the lake?
Well, you're not doing mud rotary, you're just doing a auger, what, an 8-inch auger or 6 1/4?
Yeah, and we're going to have containment in place. If anything did spill beyond what they're expecting, it'd be captured by the containment.
Well, here's the question. You're not doing mud, right? You're not
No.
doing mud
No.
drilling. You're doing regular auger,
Yes.
light, with a...
Fully encased.
Fully encased, and then you're gonna set your sensor and then withdraw your augers. You'll put your sand in and go measure, pull it up to 2 feet, and then you're gonna grout the hole and pull the augers out, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, there's really no chance of spilling. There's only, and now the soils are clean, correct? There's no contamination in them, right?
Correct.
You're just gonna drum the waste, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Just one, What comments by DEC caused you to do this? Is there some sort of requirement or something, or is it something specific to this site, in this instance?
So maintaining compliance with the dam safety regulations, an engineering assessment was submitted in 2015 with stability analysis showing that the dam is meeting factors of safety. DEC just with like further analysis, they had comments on the report that was submitted.
Was it a result of some observed problem or anything at the dam or anything?
No, it's not based on an observation.
Could you explain to the public why you're doing this?
To have a complete evaluation of the dam on record as per DEC's requirements.
Mean stability, things like that?
Correct, an evaluation of stability.
I got one more question for you. In reading your narrative, the subsurface investigation, you're doing 2 geotechnical soil borings and 4 geotechnical test borings at Lower Chealin Dam. This is just for the 2 geotechnical soil borings at Kirk?
Correct.
We're not, this application has nothing to do with Lower Chealin.
The permit application has nothing to do with Lower Chealin. The drilling contract is covering both sites.
Okay. All right, so just do me a favor, so I can have a letter in the file. Also, just give me a letter saying that this application, I mean, it says here Kirk Lake Dam, but your work permit, your work layout talks about 2. So I don't want you to redo the whole thing. So just subsurface investigate 2 geotech borings from top of earthen dam, just at Kirk Lake Dam. Or just give us a letter saying this application was just for Kirk Lake Dam.
Well, it says Kirk Lake right up here.
Yeah, but if you read the work, if somebody checks the work
Right,
permit,
okay.
I don't want them to resubmit the whole work application, right? So, all right, so, I mean,
Just going back to one of
when do you want
the,
to start the work?
I just want a clarification on one of the requests was for the driller's purchase order. He's doing the work as a subcontract to our consultant, AECOM.
Fine.
You want
That,
his
yeah.
subcontract. I just wanted to clarify that.
MSDS and material. You expect to do this in one day, correct?
Yes, possibly 2. If the, drill,
Right,
if
so
the
if it's-
casing takes, the
if
boring
he's-
takes longer than
If
expected.
they leave the rig there overnight, you have to store the rig on poly. On poly. You have to
Okay.
get a roll of poly out, back it up on the rig in case it has a little leak or something.
I
Okay.
believe we're requiring that already due to DEP's policies, but
Okay.
it's not a problem.
All
It's
right,
definitely
that-
gonna stay overnight, because even if they get it done in one day, they're going to Lower Chealin the next day, they'll stay at Kirk.
Fueling,
overnight.
if the brig is staying around there, do we want to put a note about fueling? No fueling next to the lake.
And it's diesel, it probably hardly uses, it probably comes full. I don't think they'll be doing fueling for this now.
Okay.
Won't be it. What were the Nick, can I just read off what we said?
Sure.
Spill kit?
So I have the drilling license, drilling permit, driller's insurance, the purchase order for the subcontractor of the driller, spill kit on site, the MSDS, and catalog cut.
Yeah, MSDS catalog cut of the grout you're using,
Grout.
bentonite.
A letter indicating that the application does not include the other dam mentioned, Lower Chealin. And then the rig must be stored on poly. You can put that in the same letter as the application, saying that you're not going to be doing the other dam in this application.
All right? When do you want to start the work?
September. Right now, we're targeting the second week of September.
All right, so we have time, right?
Yeah, we can accept the application,
Yeah,
just issue it in two meetings. Yeah.
okay. So then with that, do I have a motion to accept the application with the following conditions? They provide us details on a spill cut they're gonna use, provide the MSDS and catalog cuts for the bentonite and grout material that they're gonna use. They have to submit in the letter that they're gonna store the rig on poly, as well as in the same letter, just specify that this is for Kirk Lake Dam only. Provide us with the drilling license, the driller's permit, and a copy of the driller's insurance. Copy of the PO they have with the driller, and letter, storing poly, and that's it. Do I have a motion to accept the application?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Vince and then Nick, and then do I have a motion to approve? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so you're on the clock. I got a little confused there.
Yeah,
Too many
it'll be
things
September
going on.
6th. That's our first, that's 2 meetings from now. That's,
So get the stuff into Rose Monday,
Okay,
or tomorrow or Monday. She'll send it out to us. If everything's good, no comments from the public, you'll get your permit in September.
great. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Can I have that back? I got a little,
Hey, you're a civil engineer, right?
civil? I'm civil all the time.
You recognize that name?
No?
You never took a soils course?
I'll explain to you after this when we get to this.
Okay.
Is that you? You done with that?
It's off the Casa Grande.
No, Paul.
Good evening.
Next is Anna Inzano for 188 Bullet Hole Road to install a driveway. Could you please state your name and who you're here to represent?
Paul Lynch from Putnam Engineering, and I'm representing the Inzanos.
Okay, what can we do for you? You were here a while ago. Well, she was here a while ago.
She was here, she had a different engineer representing her.
Do you
And
know when that was?
I think it was back in November.
Yeah. You don't have to look, that's, I think that's
I
what it
have
was.
it. It was,
November 16th.
November 16th. Oh, I remember this.
Oh, yeah, we remember this.
I
They
remember.
got a notice of violation.
Like the story.
Yes,
Quite the story.
yes.
To deed?
And how are you gonna,
Well, we'll start at the beginning.
Need a refresher.
sure.
This is the two-lot subdivision, which I don't think you saw in November.
No.
No,
No.
just saw the plan put together by your other engineer.
Whatever.
This is the two-lot subdivision that went through the planning board process. Got final approval. It was all finalized, and it was filed with the county clerk. This in blue is the stream that exists. The green is wetland. The orange is your 100-foot buffer as it existed.
And this has been flagged by a DEC wetlands inspector.
This was flagged by, I believe it was Joe Steele, who at the time was not with the DEC, he was working on his own. He had been retired. So, that was your 100-foot buffer, and obviously this proposed driveway. and-
Is right in it.
And any improvements inside it, as well as taking the existing driveway and widening it to make it suitable for a common driveway, is all within that buffer.
100-foot buffer.
And it never came to this board for an approval. This board never saw this project.
No, we didn't.
Right.
At present, the town holds a bond for the improvements of this driveway.
Okay.
The plan is for the Giordano's, Gervasi's, to pave it.
Not the Inzanos.
No, the Zanos start pretty much at this,
Right,
their driveway starts here.
right.
So, And I'm only concerned with Inzano and getting them their permit. But to pave this section of driveway, it needs DEP approval because it's within 100 feet of a water course. And they don't allow for paving of driveways within 100 feet of a water course. So there's an issue that's gonna surface at some point in time.
Okay,
So I'm here for the Inzanos.
okay. I think I remember that there was some sort of ill feeling or something.
Yeah, what had happened was the Giordano.
Hold on.
Right.
The Giordano's and Gervasi's made some improvements where they
Right. Right.
cut this portion of the driveway in. How far, nobody knows. But there was a culvert installed through here and now it exists. So this culvert is in. This work was done. They sold the lot to another entity. The other entity came in, cleared, to what extent, we don't know, and installed a septic pad.
Right.
So the septic pad's out there. This is the actual limit of disturbance.
Is it greater than 5,000 square feet?
It is, we are required
Do a SWIP.
to do a SWIP, which we are doing. Actually, I've been in contact with Mary, and we put the SWIP together. She's asked me for a drainage study, and what we're gonna do is,
Who's Mary?
Mary Galasso of the New York City DEP.
Okay.
We're gonna have a design point in the stream at some point down in this area. And pretty much our drainage basin that we're gonna look at comes up, wraps around, comes back over to this stream over through here, and comes back down. So we're just gonna do a pre and post study. We're gonna do a pre and post study just to see how the numbers turn out. We are proposing to use a rain garden to treat our impervious surface, which is the house.
Right.
So we're gonna have 2 rain gardens in this location, which is out of the buffer. So that handles the only impervious surface that's on the lot, which is the house and that portion of the walkway.
Think about the driveway.
Driveway's gonna be gravel,
But isn't gravel,
not to the city of New York.
but
Is
some
it,
people in the,
What kind of ground, you're not talking about item 4, right?
No,
right, that's what I was just gonna
Gravel.
say.
Not item
is
4.
impervious.
not item 4, gravel.
Like pea gravel,
Yeah,
What?
well, half inch,
No, no,
3/4,
no.
half inch, something like that, 3/4.
got it.
Yeah, that's gonna be, it has to be a gravel driveway.
Would the client accept pervious asphalt?
The city would not. The city does not accept pervious asphalt, and I've been asking about that for years. Their issue is with maintenance.
20 years it will be.
Yes. I know, I hope I'm still practicing.
do they have the silt fence up?
Yes, there is a silt fence
Yeah.
along this perimeter down through here. And what our plan is to do is to take what buffer we can, because obviously the driveway's coming through this
So
section.
you can't, so you really need, in reading the file, you really need the DEP approval also, and us, to get this built.
Yes.
And where are you in the process for the DEP permit?
I am probably submitting the stormwater, the SWIP to Mary next week.
Okay.
The last thing that we're working on is the drainage study. And once that's completed, it goes in.
You know, a little confusing, you said something before, you said, somebody cleared, but we don't know how much.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes,
The previous homeowner.
Yeah, I know that, but what the,
you had an intermediate owner.
okay, but you're saying you don't know how much. Can't you just observe what was
Oh,
cleared?
I know what's clear now, and that's what we're using
Okay,
as our
fine.
boundary.
Okay. You just don't know who did what.
Correct.
Okay, but you know it's there.
Yeah, I
'Cause
know it's there.
the way it sounded like you didn't know what was
No,
there. and I was
no,
saying,
I-
I don't think he means that,
No,
okay,
I know it's there.
okay.
Now, I understand under the plan, if the planning board gives you planning board approval to construct a house in an area, the tree cutting permit is a wash. they don't have to come to us for a tree cutting permit. Because under planning zone, if you have a development built, right, which was
Yes.
2 houses, you're good with.
Well, it's the houses it's because of the houses you don't have to do the tree permit.
Right, so they're off the hook on the tree permit, as far as
I'm-
I'm
I
concerned.
think you're correct. What, we should just take a look at
We'll
that.
just
But I think you're right, but.
So, all right, so, keep going.
So what we're looking to do is restore the buffer where we can. Like I said, the driveway's coming through, so obviously I'm not going to be restoring that area because the driveway's going to be there. But there will be a strip through here that we will plant trees and wildflower seed mix, and then plant trees and wildflower seed mix through this to get, to let the buffer reclaim itself.
What are you gonna do for mitigation with the road that you're taking over? Through the buffer?
I mean, the driveway.
Yeah. The driveway.
Well, so it's pervious surface. Do we need to
Yeah, but
have
you're
mitigation?
putting a driveway on it. You're disturbing it. You're not just gonna put gravel on that material, you're gonna probably put a geotextile fabric, lay a stone, right, am I, right?
They may or may not.
I don't really have a problem with that.
So it's gonna be a gravel driveway, and you'll have grass on both sides.
Go over the size of the gravel you're talking about.
Probably talking half inch to an inch and a quarter, this size.
Mix.
The mix,
Blend.
it's a,
So it interlocks.
Yeah, but
Interlock structurally.
That, what's the range of sizes, though? Is that the range of size you're talking about?
yeah.
That's
because-
gonna be a little, okay.
I mean, you don't want really big stone,
No, I don't. I
Yeah.
think those,
and you don't want pea gravel,
No,
because
I
the pea
know.
gravel will
Pea gravel
wash,
will wash right
it'll wash out.
My in-laws have a really, really long gravel driveway too.
yeah,
which
but I don't
brings
consider that
concern.
gravel. That's crushed stone.
Yeah,
Sure.
That's really crushed stone. That's not gravel.
that's what it is, but it's
Right.
called gravel, but
Right.
it's crushed
They
stone.
set the trailer yet, the house?
No, the houses are sitting on the trailers on the lot. They can't get a building permit until these two issues are resolved.
What's the maintenance gonna be like? Are you putting, so I mean, there's a pitch right now? Is there any grade from the driveway down to the, what's the grade like? From the driveway down to the wetlands?
To the wetlands.
Is the foundation excavated?
No,
Nothing.
nothing.
So,
It's fairly, I'm gonna say it's like 5%.
so
kind of grade,
these
40.
are existing topos, and obviously the solid lines are
Yes,
proposed.
proposed.
Okay.
Are you guys, is there any plan to put a drainage, washout issues, basins, anything on the sides of the driveway itself to
No,
channel water?
I was trying to keep that as tight as possible. There is a swale on the uphill side.
Right, there's a swale up here, yeah.
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 So then, on the downhill side, the wetland buffer becomes your filter strip.
Sure. My concern is, thinking about how like, it's about a 3/4 of a mile driveway at my in-laws, where they're using crushed stone, and they're right near a wetland. There tends to be washout. In the winter, when it thaws, when everything thaws, there could be pretty big, washout of the actual, stone itself. So,
Really?
yeah, there's certain, like, heavy rains will pull it out. So what happens is the water will get underneath or on the sides of the driveway and start eroding on the sides of the driveway. And so then the stones will just tumble, over here, over there, whatever. Eventually you get huge divots
but
and
it-
pits. And this
Yeah,
happens
but
every year.
Usually, I would assume that the crushed stone is gonna be level with the surrounding.
You try, they try. I mean, you can only do, you can only
I
do so
had a
much.
gravel driveway, I mean, not a gravel, a crushed stone, just as you're describing it. I never had any problems like that.
Were you up in the woods like this?
Yeah, I was in
Yeah.
the woods, yeah.
All right, well, let's just,
So the plan is
The only
there's,
reason I'm bringing it up is I'm wondering if there should be
they're gonna have to
any
have
of
a
that.
maintenance plan.
what we have the swale, in essence, on the high side.
Mm-hmm.
So runoff basically starts at the driveway itself. So there's not like you've got overland
It's the
flow
length of the driveway, the swale? Where is it?
Well,
from the house.
the way it's graded here, that's not complete. Here's a swale up here, but down below here, that'll capture everything above here. Everything that comes down here, the way the proposal here is it's gonna be captured, it looks like there's gonna be a ditch along one side of the driveway.
Which is there.
Okay, which is there. And so so that if they grade it properly, it
That's
should come down
correct.
through here. And then be caught in this culvert, the head wall for this culvert, which goes across to the other side.
Got it. Okay,
It
that makes sense.
makes sense on the plan,
On paper,
whether,
right.
whether they construct it that way or it works.
I think that's something that we should ask Rich when, after the project is complete, to observe,
Right.
like, go and check, and
Right.
that there should be contingent on the bond with that. I mean,
Right.
that could be bad,
Now,
or it could be fine.
now, some of this is already been disturbed up in here, right?
Yes, actually, this plan's been modified from what you have in front of you, where the disturbance actually comes up to the stone wall.
Okay, okay, all right, then.
And it was just, that was the cutting of trees. They didn't,
Right, okay. But what you've got here is, you're planting some trees here, and you have some sort of wildflower seed mix over here. What about up here?
Yeah.
it's going to revegetate, and actually it has. Right now, it's just existing growth. It's probably
Yeah, it's-
25%, 30% grade. You're
It's
not,
steep, it's steep. That's part of my
Yeah.
concern.
No, I
It's
think
already
it-
vegetated.
I think it's going to go back to, you can't use it. I mean, you're not going up there with a lawnmower to try to cut your feet off. Kind of. Yes, it's in this corner, which had to be 100 feet from the, yeah. So they tucked that in the corner.
All right, so what are you looking from us? We could, I
Well,
mean, if,
I'd like to get to the point where you can accept it, and we waive the 30-day clock. Because if you don't accept until after the city gives me an approval, then it just pushes the project
another 30 days.
another, plus or minus, plus, depending on how the calendar falls. So I was wondering if we could get it accepted and then basically table it so that, once we get it,
Because here's the other situation, right? So, they're gonna need a crane to lift the homes in
Correct.
place, right? So, it's not gonna be a small little baby, it's gonna be a decent size.
decent-sized crane.
So, I'm gonna need some information regarding that in terms of, spill kits and refueling plans.
We've got that on,
Loading.
we've got that on the
pick
next,
point, the whole
I
nine.
don't have the pick point on, but I do have the loading, the fueling and the spill kit is now in the plans also.
How long has the trailer's been sitting on site?
Since November.
Well, we don't know.
Oh, yeah.
That's when they were here, we don't know if it was there
I
then.
think earlier, I think they were thinking that they were building this thing last October.
Okay.
Because I think when, she went in for the building permit, that's when the whole issue of, by the way, you need a, you need a wetlands permit.
So let me just,
Which one is the, silt fence?
Right here.
This dash line?
No, the silt fence, the existing silt fence is running right along.
Oh, right
It's
here,
this
right
line. It's that line.
But this is the.
No, it's, no, oh, this,
Here's the 100
oh,
foot
yeah,
buffer.
right there. Oh, here it is. It's right on here, see?
Existing silt fence.
Yeah, right.
Is it in good shape?
Yes. Yeah, I've been out there.
All right, so one of the things you're gonna need is you're gonna need the town wetland inspector to look at your
Okay.
silt fence.
Flagging is all right? The flag.
The last flagging was done by the New York City.
Oh, that's the other thing. You're gonna need tags, wetland tags.
I think you, I think.
Medallions, we have in,
He's got,
we're
it's on the
showing.
plans.
You're showing them on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're here. I saw them someplace, I know.
all right, I'd also like to just do a quick rundown of the notes from last time. There were a few things that were missing, just make sure we have them all in here. Spill kit,
Yes.
cooling fan, cooling plan.
You don't, you do on, you have your vehicle future, the whole, yes. But now,
Plan for a stockpile?
at this point, they're not gonna be stockpiling anything, because they're gonna use what they have on site. And they actually have to truck in material now.
But they have to dig a hole for the foundation, right? Or they're just pouring a slab?
No, they're actually, the house is gonna sit pretty much at the foot of the existing
Grade.
fill pad for the septic. It comes down, because what they hadn't realized is that this house has to be 50 feet from the septic fields. It can't be closer. So their intention was that they were gonna be digging into that hillside to put their house in, and they can't do that because I gotta have 50 feet.
So you've relocated the house?
Yes.
And what is the house gonna be put on, a concrete pad?
Well, it'll be, you'll have a slat,
foundation.
you'll have a regular foundation,
You got a basement?
have a basement, and then you're gonna bring in the fill to
Fill around.
fill around it and fill behind the house.
Yeah, see, all this is filled, well, you could.
It's all filled.
It's all filled in, yeah.
So they're not gonna have a surplus or be dealing with
Right.
stock, but they're trucking in and
Certificate of clean fill?
And what's the, you have a planting schedule? I mean, you showed trees, but
Yeah, we're-
shrubs and trees.
we were going with just what's native on that property right now, which
So
is,
just give us a list of plantings.
I think we were proposing
And number,
You
Sugar
have sugar
maples.
maples is what you have.
sugar
here.
maples.
sugar
Yeah.
maples, I don't see that.
Is the NOV still active?
Yes.
What do you need to do to get rid of it?
The DEP permit.
I get
That's
my
what it is?
Yeah.
To get a DEP permit, you need us?
No,
Okay.
No, he needs us, but he wants us to, our permit is contingent on the DEP permit. Once
Right.
he gets the DEP permit, he gets our permit.
Yeah.
So anyways, yes, I think we should have a certificate of clean fill if you're, whatever fill you're bringing in.
These are pretty big rain gardens. 6 by 40,
Yep,
two
two of
pair. Okay, they just seem large to me, that's what you're saying, that's fine,
that's how the math turned out.
yeah, okay. Pretty good size.
First
Two-
time I've heard too large a green garden.
yeah. It's 240 feet each, there's two of them. All right,
All right, so the only things I have right now is, the SWIP. We need a copy of the SWIP. We need the DEP approval.
we may want to,
Get Rich out there to inspect the silt fence. Make sure the wetland flag, you have to call Rich prior to and post-construction,
he knows that.
right, to make sure that all your items
Yes.
are planting list, certificate of clean fill, and the DEP approval.
And, do we want to, is that later when we go through the bond, or do we need to add something now about that ditch on the side of the
Well, I'm
driveway?
thinking for the trees, I don't wanna, can you
Well,
look around for a second?
Yeah, the swale, it's there, well,
Not the swell, so the ditch that's going on Side Drive, as long as that
Yeah,
it's
so,
graded
well,
properly, you're
it's
gonna
a-
have no,
it's-
you won't have
it's
too
a
many
sw-
problems.
it's a
But if
swale.
it's not, if it ends up not, yeah, if that swale
Joel
does
should,
not,
all should, maybe should specify how it's gonna be vegetated. The swale is gonna be the one that goes along the driveway.
Can you provide details of the swale?
I had
You
it,
don't, I don't, you don't need, I'm not worried about the details, I mean,
I think
we
it's
can see, but how's it gonna be vegetated, that's what I'm asking.
probably put stone in the bottom and it'll just be grass on the sides. There's not gonna be that great of a flow coming there at this point, especially with the diversion channel swale we have up on the hillside. But I'll know, when I finish the drainage study, I'll know what my cue is in there, and we'll work backwards.
But just write something about what you're gonna do with it, that's all. You don't have to show. The other thing is, what about you're gonna have, leader drains. I see an arrow, but do we need more
Well,
detail?
the leader drain gets piped.
Okay,
And there'll be two pipes. One pipe goes to, the back half of that, because it's a gable roof, so the back half gets piped to one rain garden. The other half of the roof gets piped to the other one. And then there'll be two overflows in each rain garden, and that'll discharge, the overflow will discharge to the swale.
right. But the connection from the leader drains to the rain gardens is not shown. I see an arrow, but That's the only one.
I'll make that clear.
Yeah, just, I don't know, just show the things. That's all, it's a little item. Just, and, you know, the other area where you have this, all this field, and it's front of the house, and the rain gardens are there. Just, I don't know, just, maybe just add a note, it's gonna be grassed in there, okay,
Okay.
that's all. You know, just so we have it.
Front of the house?
Yeah, well, the whole thing, all the way down through, this whole area is gonna be filled in and disturbed.
Now you got nothing else?
Nope.
Not eight,
27.
27.
That was a... We'll talk sometime.
Okay, that's good.
All right, so you're looking for us to accept the application
Yes,
with my list of fun.
the list of fun.
I don't wanna, I'd like to move this forward, but, they came back with a much better product than
Yeah,
we
well,
had before.
we didn't really have a product before.
Before, I think we had a crayon and a napkin. So, all right, so I'll make a motion to accept the permit as submitted with the following items. We need a copy of the SWIP, and we need a copy of the DE. The permit is contingent on providing us a copy of the DEP permit and NOV release. Okay? You're going to set up a meeting with the town wetlands inspector to inspect the silt fence prior, I'd like it now, then prior to work, post-work, okay? Make sure you install your wetland flags as shown in the drawings. Provide us a planting list we don't need anymore. Certificate of clean fill, description of the swale, and a note on the drawings that grass is gonna be installed in front of the house.
And then the swell, and then the,
Swale description. You wanted a swale description.
yeah, okay, fine, sorry.
So with that, do I have a motion to accept
Well,
the,
yeah,
Looks-
one more thing. When we're voting to accept it, contingent upon these things, okay? But when can this be advertised? Because there's an awful lot that's missing right now. See, because that's gonna affect, that's
it's
gonna,
not gonna be able to, yeah, so if somebody wants to come look at the
right.
thing, they don't have anything to. You have a copy of the SWIP?
Yeah, actually, I thought I submitted it, but it's not complete, because it doesn't have the drainage study.
Yeah, there is something, there was something.
I'll tell you what, you're close, right? So I don't want to advertise this if it's missing a lot of stuff. So why don't we do this? The next meeting's in,
I don't have a problem, let me just speak for myself. I don't have a problem accepting it, but just one of the conditions is until we get certain amount of material, this cannot be advertised.
Which is what you've written down, right?
Yeah, we
yeah, but I didn't say that.
I know you
tell
didn't say that,
Rose-
that's why I interrupted you, to say that we have a problem with advertising, but we can accept it, and then as
How
soon
long
as
do
he
you think
submits it.
it'll take to get these documents,
My issue,
roughly? I mean, you're dealing with another entity, I understand that.
I imagine the city's gonna be within 30 days. And my issue is I will be away on vacation at your next meeting, so I have to do something.
So the next meeting is the 16th.
Yeah, I will not be here.
what can you do, what can be done before that? I mean, look, it doesn't matter, if it's contingent upon him submitting stuff before it can be advertised, then that's, he sets the
basically it.
clock, okay? So if he gets it in next Monday,
Can advertise.
then we can advertise it. And then we can go from there. And then he has a chance of getting it by the first week in September. And as far as SWIP goes, he has partially done the SWIP. And what he's.
Rich has
what-
to approve the SWIP, right?
I know, well, that's, why- a lot of times, we don't have, after we've accepted an application, then Rich goes and accepts,
Right.
reviews the rain garden. So this is just the SWIP, more extended SWIP.
So why
And
don't we
he's
do
already-
this?
He's
Why
already
don't we do
submitted
this?
part
Why
of
don't
the
we
SWIP.
leave this, accept the application as is, give them till the 16th, have them come in, put them on the calendar, basically make sure all these items are addressed. She's gonna come, they'll come in, they say, these items have been addressed.
Or the certificate of clean fill.
That's,
You don't know where you're gonna get.
yeah, no, I know that. So,
What,
Yeah, I,
the main things are the silt fence inspection, the SWIP, the swale description, and the note of the grass, right? The DEP and NOV I can't do until, that's out of, until I have it. So, and the wetland flags is also a comment. So, why don't we just,
can we just backtrack, what, in terms of the wetland flags?
just make sure they're installed.
Oh, you mean the
The
The little
placards.
placards, okay. Well, that's, yeah, they're already in the drawings.
yeah, they were there. Now, you said you have a, updated plan, though. Okay, so that's gotta be submitted too.
It's now 3 sheets.
Right, okay.
Yeah, because it was showing the fueling area and where the spill kit's gonna be.
Okay, so why don't we do this? So why don't we do this?
Send me 3 sheets.
Send it in between now and the 16th. Send them in here the 16th
Okay.
to say, we'd like to have this application accepted. That's all they really gotta say. As long as it's give them a laundry list of things that you did. As long as it's in here, then we'll accept the application, because there's too many holes in here right now that it's gotta be advertised to the public, that if they can't see it, it's.
I don't have an issue with that.
All right, so then we will hold off on this application until the 16th. All right? I think that's fair. All right?
All right, thank you.
I'll even leave these notes in here, so this way when they do come.
Take a picture of it, too.
Did you write, you need to know what you need, or you know it?
Yeah.
Why don't you take a photo?
Photograph it.
You wanna take a picture? He can't read my writing. There's no way. You need,
Okay. Let me take a shot.
Is there a deed in the file?
Oh, yeah, is there a deed in the file? Why are you doing that?
I didn't mark that last time, meaning I think there's probably a deed in there, but
If we could find a deed in here someplace.
do you know? Do you know if there's a deed?
I didn't give you a deed.
Could there have been one from somebody else? Or probably not.
Are they bringing it on the 16th?
They go, I can get it beforehand.
Okay.
If you don't have a copy of it, there it is.
Here it is, we got
You
it.
got it?
We
Good.
got it. Deed. It's there.
Great.
One less thing to worry.
all right, so just so I didn't mess this up, they need to get a copy of the SWIP in the file. Rich Franzetti to inspect the silt fence 3 times, now, pre, post. Copy DEP approval, swale description, note for grass in front of house, NOV release and an updated plan, right?
Yep.
That's it?
Yep.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend, enjoy your vacation.
Going hiking?
Yeah, we go to Vermont. We go way up.
Where's way up? Northeast Kingdom?
No, actually, on the west side.
Oh.
North of Jeffersonville. We cross over Mount Mansfield, Eden Stone,
Right, yeah.
where it's like, everybody goes there.
Right, yeah.
Stay miles away from that area. But we stay on the western side.
Good, have fun.
Hiking,
Yeah, enjoy.
canoeing, all that kind of good stuff.
Watch out for the ticks.
No, no ticks up there.
There's no
Not yet.
ticks?
Not yet.
There's a law.
Although they're in the White Mountains.
Yeah, it's southern Vermont, I think.
It's a coming attraction.
Not where I go.
What else we got?
We cannot do meeting minutes because John has to be here. So, that's it. So, with that, there are no further agenda items. Do I have a motion to close the meeting?
So moved.
Do I have a
Second.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, everybody. Good night. Have a nice weekend.